It's Hockey Night in New England, presented by Berkshire Bank, the official bank of NESN's Boston Bruins coverage. It comes your way from foggy TD Garden in Boston, where tonight the Edmonton Oilers make their one and only visit to Boston to play the Bruins. And hello again, everybody. High above the ice alongside Andy Brickley with Sarah Davis back with us at ice level. I'm Jack Edwards. Brick, the Bruins are in third place in the Atlantic Division. They're only 3 points out of second. And it's not so much the standing, but the vibration around the team. This club is beginning to believe in itself.
And there should be two themes tonight, Jack. Number one, keep it rolling. You got a good thing going right now, and pay attention to detail. The second one, a little vengeance here. This is a team that beat you. You're a better team than the Edmonton Oilers, and show it tonight.
It was a 1980s throwback the other night for the Oilers. They won 7-5 on Glenn Sather night with the Rangers visiting. So their offense is firing on all cylinders, but really, would you rather have Leon Draisaitl and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, who are good young players, or would you rather have Patrice Bergeron and David Krejci? It's the Tufts health plan, game plan.
Yeah, I'm going to take Bergeron and Krejci every time at this point in the careers anyway. And when the Bruins have that 1-2 punch, they're just so tough to beat. Krejci missed a lot of action last year, but it really begins with Bergeron. This is such a great three-zone player, but we want to point out his value on the best power play in the National Hockey League this year. He understands the creation of a 2-on-1 in order to have puck possession. He understands movement in the offensive zone. They call him the bumper. What does that mean? He's in the middle of the ice, or he's going to fan out to either side of the ice in order to create those 2-on-1s, but they like him in the middle of the ice because his decision-making and execution are outstanding. He's awesome on the power play, but he's even better 5-on-5. David Krejci, what's his strength? His ability to move the puck and to create offense. He doesn't do it at breakneck speed. He slows the game down to the pace that he likes, and he dictates with his ability to see what's going on, understand all the moving parts, get everybody involved. Great example of nothing to the slot area. I'm going to curl back. I'll get the defenseman coming late. I'll exchange places with him. It's that motion in the offensive zone, but he puts that motion in motion with his ability to move the puck.
For 11 years, I've been watching and learning. You can too. Tonight, it's the Edmonton Oilers against the Boston Bruins at TD Garden. We're back in a flash.
Accompanied by Bruins organist Ron Poster, please welcome René Rancourt.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of thy sons command. With glowing heart we see thee rise, the true north strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God, keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regular, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that
should be on the Bruins' minds. As Brick mentioned, the Oilers beat them on the 2nd of December, and that began a 5-game winning streak that Edmonton carries into tonight. Tonight's starting goaltenders brought to you by AAA. Cam Talbot had a fine season for the New York Rangers last year, and Edmonton thought they had a star in the making. He still has to prove it. In his last 4 starts, miserable. The goals against average above 4. Jonas Gustafsson didn't have a whole lot of support in front of him. A dead-legged Bruins team only had about 10 minutes worth of skating in it against Nashville a week ago tonight in this building. This is his first appearance since then. The game is on. Claude Julien starts the Talbot line with Ferraro and Ronaldo, and perhaps it's a message to bring your grit.
Well, they started the last game against Florida, Jack, and in fact, that line, with the exception of Ronaldo, played more minutes than, well, Ferraro, most minutes in a Bruins uniform. And Talbot, the most minutes of any game that he's been in a Bruins uniform this year. So the fourth line earned the coach's trust. Whether it was a 2-goal lead or a 1-goal lead in the third period, they were getting regular ice time. Start the game, and if it's a message, well, it's more about, hey, you guys have earned this opportunity. You set the tempo early in the game in the last home game. Let's go with it again.
It was the 9th game in a Bruins uniform for Ferraro. He had 15 minutes and 13 seconds of ice time. Max Talbot finishes his check.
Yeah, and the other part of that is, too, is who's Edmonton starting and what kind of matchup do we want?
Yeah. Mark Letestu and Matt Hendricks, both of whom have been in a bit of a drought. Brandon Davidson had an awkward spill. And here's Marchand walking in, the backhand. Save Talbot, and he looks over his shoulder, but it's under his pad.
Well, this is where Edmonton's at its weakest, in their own zone, Jack, and this is really almost an unforced turnover. Marchand's just going to walk down the wall, take this puck, and just go to the net. Makes a simple little move to go backhand. He wants to get it up over that arm and under the crossbar. Just doesn't get it high enough. Trying to get that puck to settle down. It doesn't get flat enough. If that puck's flat, then it's a lot easier to throw it up under that crossbar. It's a little bit on edge. Maybe you don't get it as high as you like, but that's a big stop for Talbot. He needs that kind of save early in the game if he's going to have a good one tonight.
You see that point per game pace over the last 5, and if you stretch it out, 9 goals and 2 assists for 11 points in the last 13 games for Brad Marchand. Bolesky missing on the shot. Now he fires it toward Talbot, who doesn't handle it well at all. And Andrej Sekera has to get the stick in on Louis Eriksson.
That's a good, nice rotation in the offensive zone. If you're going to pitch down the wall, you got to have that defenseman. Starts with Seidenberg, keeping it alive. Edmonton's going to try the other side now. Colin Miller switched all the way across, but it's the attack by Krejci along the half wall. But Bolesky's perfectly positioned after he got a shot right off the draw.
Bergeron at the hash marks. Gets knocked off his skates. Connolly, the hard pass off the end boards. Marchand turns, whirls, jams several times at the post. But Talbot holds his line.
Now, a nice play again along the boards by Boston on the forecheck. Bruins trying to establish some dominance in the offensive zone here in the first minute and a half of the hockey game. Good play along the boards. Bergeron keeps it alive. Connolly's trying to get open in the slot area, but it was Bergeron that was really on his knees that kept the play alive to Connolly, who went down low. A good triangle on that side of the ice. Marchand couldn't handle the pass. It was too far away from him, but he figured, hey, I can grab this puck and try and stuff it short side. Good idea.
Ryan Spooner gets tossed off the dot. He's out there with Jimmy Hayes and Frank Vetrano. Spooner, some good work along the walls a couple of days ago. Vetrano at the point keeps the puck in the attacking zone for the moment. Luke Gazdic knocks it back to the red line. Colin Miller to Hayes, the touch pass over to Spooner. He sends it to the corner. Vetrano goes hard in against Nikita Nikitin, who's playing his first game of the season for Edmonton. Anton Lander cross ice. Eero Pakarinen sends the puck to the corner. Seidenberg takes the hit from Gazdic to move the puck to Hayes. He turns it over in the neutral zone. Brandon Davidson slings it around. Dennis Seidenberg has a little bit of trouble from Jordan Eberle. Now Ryan Nugent-Hopkins out of the corner brings it back to Eric Gryba, the BU product. It comes off the boards. Here's Colin Miller filling in the middle. Gives to Bolesky. The snapshot save. Talbot almost deflects in off of Gryba, who is getting back on D. Bolesky knocks it down. Matt Bolesky's been snake bitten. He's been creating opportunities for his teammates. but he has only 1 goal over his last 18 games. Bolesky has 9 assists in his last 14. Krejci through the middle, looking for Bolesky. Eriksson rotating out high. The drive knocked down in the pile in front. Here's Eriksson, bottom of the circle, looking for Krejci. Nice touch pass back to Miller as the puck deflected on the way to Krejci. Eriksson in front looking for Bolesky, but it's off Sekera's stick. Jujhar Khaira back of his own goal. Sekera has to stab it away from Eriksson. The Bruins getting some attacking zone time here. Krug's pass comes off Nugent Hopkins' stick, and Darnell Nurse, the young defenseman, fires it up high, and that's going to deflect up and out of play.
Big hit by Ronaldo on Eberle. Good finish. But the Bruins, what they're priding themselves on lately is that paying attention to detail on defense and then turning defense into offense. Middle of your screen, Colin Miller, he's going to activate. As soon as that puck turns over, Greiber's caught deep. Maybe get a 3-on-2. It's a well-executed play. Nearly a second chance opportunity on a redirect on a net drive by Louis Eriksson.
Talbot slides it softly to Nikitin, and Ferraro's right on him. Ronaldo backhands the puck through the corner, and Talbot there, and here we go with a scrap. Hendricks and Ronaldo, and they're jumping and piling all over each other.
Yeah, that stems from that hit on Eberle. Guaranteed, Jack.
And somebody's leaking.
No, we talked about the fourth line, the importance in the win over Florida, the ability to roll all 4 lines, and that trust that has to be there. You go back last shift. Here comes Ronaldo. Now, some may say that's too late. That's too late to take the body in that instance. There was no penalty on the play. And you got to believe that it carried over to this shift. A guy like Hendricks, the role player, he's going to protect guys like Eberle, who's a high-skill guy. That's why you had the gloves off.
5 for fighting, and no reduction in manpower. The puck flips over the low glass.
Well, Ronaldo's gone for 5, so if you're a left winger, pay attention, because you only got 3 of them now.
Yep.
And you don't want any drag in your line changes, and you certainly don't want too many men, so you got to know who's up and who's got who, and the 3 left wingers got to be aware.
Draisaitl and Marchand on the face-off. Connolly bats the puck on the backhand, back to McQuaid, around through the corner. Bergeron in front for Connolly, cycles to the corner, brings it past Marchand and all the way back down the ice. So how is that communicated on the bench? Is that Claude Julien, or is that an assistant coach making those reassignments?
No, it's Claude. Claude Julien will make the decision on who he wants, in certain situations, depending on what line's up. If you're going to go with that 4th line or 2/3 of it, and you're going to go with the 4th line.
Chara for Marchand ahead of the pack. Talbot comes out, makes the block near the circle.
Yeah, but if you're that left winger, Jack, it's verbal. You got to let everybody know on the bench that if that left winger's out there, Marchand, I got Marchand, be loud.
Nikitin gives it away to Marchand. It hops over his backhand. Eberle clears the puck to the Boston line. Seidenberg, D to Colin Miller. Bruins with all of the first 5 shots on goal this game. Miller's indirect pass does not connect. Its icing against Boston. Twisted but true fact of the game. Since the start of the 2012 season, Patrice Bergeron and Brad Marchand are 1st and 2nd in the National Hockey League in plus-minus. 109 above the break-even mark for Bergeron and a +108 for Marchand. Twisted Tea, hard iced tea, the refreshing hard iced tea that tastes like real iced tea. Be a little twisted.
You know, that plus-minus statistic can be a little bit misleading at times for certain players, but not that math.
Not them. Yeah. And over the long haul, it does tell you trends. Nurse's shot, double deflection, and it goes off the high glass. Colin Miller, whose pass it was, created the icing opportunity in the attacking zone faceoff for Edmonton, gets it out. Krejci turning the corner, gets spilled by Darnell Nurse. And Edmonton fans think there's a pretty low threshold tonight, but the Bruins, best in the league power play, will go into action.
And this starts from their own end, Jack. How you come out of your own zone generally leads to quality things up ice, and this is going to be a power play. Good decision. Louis Eriksson facing Colin Miller. You don't have to be your back to him looking up the wall for an indirect pass. Make yourself available. Give the defenseman a target, and then you use that weak side defenseman to walk out of your own zone. Krejci takes that indirect pass off the wall. Little change of pace, draws the penalty. The Bruins on the power play, and the power play stats are brought to you by Echo Store Technology.
Not much about Boston's power play numerically that is not pretty fancy looking. Spooner scooting around the zone. Krug along the line to Krejci. Back to Krug. Bergeron the bumper high in the zone. Krejci to Spooner. Holds the puck. Gives it low to Eriksson. Turns on goal. Tries to jam it through the 5-hole. But Talbot closes the door.
Gotta like the low play. If they're gonna give it to you, like the Florida Panthers gave. The Bruins tried it twice to Louis Eriksson. Sometimes you try to go across the top of the blue paint to Krug coming in on the weak side. Other times you try to create your own offensive chance. Just don't have any hesitation. Have a little something, an idea, what you want to do. Make that quick, but it opens up that half wall a little bit more for Spooner.
Spooner to Krejci. Leads Krug. Krejci in the middle of the zone. Spooner's drive deflects and goes wildly off the end glass. Krug to Spooner to Krejci. The one-timer gets blocked right back to him off Korpikoski. Krug rings the bell as loudly as you can, but the puck deflects up and out of play. And because of the rule brought in a couple of years ago, the faceoff will stay in the attacking zone.
When you work on your power play in practice, and if you're doing 5-on-0, and maybe you have the goaltender in there or not, usually you have a goalie, but 5-on-0, you're not afraid to set up one-timers and take them. It's a little bit more restrictive when you have penalty kills. You don't want anybody getting hurt in practice. But the Bruins set up 3 one-timers right there. Spooner, Krejci, and then Krug.
Mark Letestu had a shorthanded goal against the Bruins in that meeting on the 2nd of December. It's the only shorty that Edmonton has scored this year. Krug about halfway through the man advantage for Boston. Krejci to Spooner. Tries to stick handle into traffic. Krejci will keep possession. And the Bruins regroup. Krug to Bergeron. Through the seam, Krejci rushes in. Indirect for Bergeron. Can't get the shot through Puckarinen. And the Oilers cleared. Torrey Krug has Colin Miller heading up the left side. Gives to him. Miller hard around into the zone. Connolly on the half boards. Can't get it past Anton Lander. Alert play by Miller anticipating the clear. Here's Chara backing toward the boards. Miller gives to Connolly at the top of the circle. The shot saved by Talbot. Rebounding Marchand skates. Still fighting for it. Lander skates out of the pack with the puck and bounces one all the way down to Gustafsson. 2 shots on goal for Boston during the power play, which ends with Darnell Nurse exiting the box. Miller wraps it around. Marchand turning to the forehand, works against Justin Schultz. Sekera takes the puck away, and Schultz has space.
Yeah, 2 shots in the power play and a big pipe. That drive by Cruz, not a shot on goal, and it ripped it off the iron. You can help us out by taking a 2-minute survey at NESN.com/survey. We'll give you the chance to win 2 tickets to see the Bruins take on the Anaheim Ducks on January 26th. Visit NESN.com/survey during tonight's game for your chance to win.
Talbot with Ferraro on the inside hash marks. Vetrano in the shooter's position inside the circle. McQuaid middle of the line, the wrist shot intentionally wide. Justin Schultz pokes after it. Talbot gets position to get underneath. Taylor Hall, who has been on a tear of late. Ferraro takes the puck away before it gets to Hall. Greiba, Nikitin, now Leon Draisaitl. This puck deflects up into the Boston bench. 12:18 to go in the opening period. The Bruins out shooting Edmonton 7-2.
This here. Yesterday, Brad Marchand made a guest appearance at Symphony Hall for the Boston Pops holiday show to narrate "'Twas the Night Before Christmas." He told us he was nervous to read in front of everyone, but he did practice leading up to it. Now you can catch his special moment on Epic's Road to the Winter Classic, which premieres this Wednesday. And Jack and Brick, since the poem is something every good dad reads to their kids, I'm going to assume both of you have.
All right, I'm not that good at that.
Well, I must be stellar then. That is a yearly tradition in this household.
I've been known to run.
He's a mean one.
I've been known to run a mean gambling house over a game of dreidel, though. I will say that. Just don't want the shin. That's the one that really hurts. Second icing against Edmonton. Nugent Hopkins and Krejci on the drop. Nugent Hopkins off the boards. Eberle trying to get a little space as Miller pinches down the pressure, and here comes Eriksson on Nikitin. Krug gets in the mix. Nugent Hopkins slings it over to Greiber quickly to Eberle, and here comes the counterattack. Nugent Hopkins swimming around Miller, but Torrey Krug is the next layer. Nugent Hopkins finds space, feathers the pass to Brandon Davidson. Greiber's wrist shot into Bolesky's body, and he comes up holding the left arm. Eberle scores off the end boards. Gustafsson couldn't get back to cover the short side, and Edmonton, after getting widely outplayed for 8.5 minutes, scores the first goal of the game.
Well, Bolesky stops the initial shot by Greiber at the right point, but the puck comes right back to the Edmonton defenseman, and Bolesky didn't know where it was. And before he can get back in the shooting lane, Greiber's able to take this puck. He misses the net, but the lively backboards, and Eberle, who's very stealth in the offensive zone, particularly when it comes around the net between the dots, he's going to get to that puck before Miller can close on him, Jack. You know, that's what happens when you play to front or forward. And the shot gets by you and by the net on the wide side. It's an advantage for the forward on the opposing team to get to it first.
Anton Lander in the corner. Puck hops past Colin Miller. Gazdic tries to wrap around it. Karams wildly off his skate and into the corner again. Miller. Lander intercepts. Miller jamming against Gazdic, who's a pretty tough customer. This puck deflects over the low glass in the face-off of the Boston zone. The Bruins get no relief.
Yeah, we were talking, looking at the shot clock, 7-3 in favor of Boston, thinking about where the 3 shots that Edmonton had. And it might have been from center ice, when you think about it. Get another look at the goal and the immense skill of a guy like Jordan Eberle. You know, able to pick that puck off the boards, didn't have to settle it down, almost like a one-timer, and he knows he can beat Gustafsson to the spot, get it up under the crossbar.
Our stats guy, Scott Shore, was telling us in the break that Edmonton's 2 shots had averaged more than 100 feet in length. Your goalie's going to stop most of those. Draisaitl going into the corner. Leon Draisaitl saying he admired Dennis Seidenberg very much growing up as a German hockey player, that Seidenberg's got that capital F fame in Germany, which is also Draisaitl's home country. Connolly feeds Marchand. He cuts out of the corner against Sekera. Taylor Hall takes the puck away. All doing the work in all 3 zones, but especially offensively of late. Taylor Hall with 5 goals, 4 assists for 9 points in his last 4 games.
His coach called him a bully.
He can be. he plays hockey like a fullback. Kevin Miller can't whip the wrist shot through. Letestu one-hands it to Matt Hendricks. Hendricks turns, gives to Greiber, fires it into Talbot's legs. Talbot turns his goal. Krug reverses to Kevin Miller. He's got Ferraro up by the defensive blue line. Ferraro chips it ahead. Talbot's drive off Greiber's stick up and into the protective netting. 9.5 minutes to go in the first. The Oilers lead it. On Jordan Eberle's goal, the rebound off the end boards.
By Jordan Eberle. Watch what's happening in front of the goal for Boston. Miller's looking to box out, but this is Jordan Eberle. This is the goal scorer. Somebody's got to pick him up and look to box him out because Miller's occupied in front of the net. Whether it's Torrey Krug on a man-on-man release or Louis Eriksson sagging back, but somebody's going to try to box out Eberle as well. The shot by Greiber misses the net. Eberle, because Miller's caught in front of the net with his man looking to box out in front of the puck. You need two guys back there, and good players are going to score goals, and Edmonton very economical in their shots. Lead 1-0.
Darren and Lisa Eberle taking in the Oilers swing through the East Coast of the U.S. Edmonton will be at Madison Square Garden tomorrow night to face the Rangers. Jordan Eberle born in Regina, Saskatchewan, which is right near nothing.
That's the capital.
It is. And nobody stumbles in there. You gotta want to go there. Eberle off the boards. Hendricks in the corner. Goes right to the post. Gustafsson holds it. Trident, Nugent, Hopkins working with Nikitin, and Colin Miller throws the hip into Nikita. Nikitin separating him from the puck, but Nugent Hopkins has it again. The tight cycle, and Kara comes down the slot and hammers one right on Gustafsson. Edmonton moving very well here and skating circles around the Bruins in the Boston zone. Sekera down to the hash marks, fires a wrist shot, and it goes off the corner glass. Nurse scoots it down into the corner. Seidenberg can't handle it. Bolesky goes indirect, and Seidenberg tries the right side. Miller up into the center circle. Louis Eriksson short of the red line. That's going to be icing on the Bruins. Key matchup brought to you by Honda. Start something special with a great deal on a Honda. Taylor Hall, the second star in the NHL last week. 3 goals, 3 assists in 2 games. And he doesn't just have the speed, he's got the determination. He's got a pretty good head on him, too. He was musing about 10 days ago when we were up in Edmonton. This is the 3rd rebuild that he's been part of in his career. And this is only his 6th season. Edmonton has come alive with the goal by Eberle. The Bruins having a substantial attacking zone time still, despite spending the last couple of shifts in
when they got possession of the puck, Jack, Colin Miller had the puck. The simple play was a nice short pass up to David Krejci, posted up on the left wing. Lots of room, lots of space. Instead, he tries a bullet pass to Louis Eriksson, who's moving through the neutral zone, but he's looking to get to the bench for a line change. You got to have a feel for that, but that's a young player still finding his way at the NHL level, and then all of a sudden you're guilty of the icing. That line's got to come back right out. But Boston, with a little gamesmanship, a long delay, getting Krejci back on the ice to get Bergeron off the ice so you don't have to expend your timeout. I shouldn't say that. Those are against the rules, aren't they?
Yes. Terrible. McQuaid, the dart to Connolly. Charo over the spoke B. Wrists it off the right wing corner boards. Connolly can't get there before Nurse deflects it. Bergeron plays the body. McQuaid pops the puck in the air. And it's ruled a hand pass because Connolly got the next touch. Faceoff will come out into the neutral zone. Very late filling crowd tonight. A lot of dense fog in the area. Big traffic problems around metropolitan Boston this evening. Torrey Krug shot right on Cam Talbot. Krug wins the puck away from Greiber. Lander tries to pin in Spooner and does. Here comes Pakarinen. Vetrano with the angle and the effort, and Pakarinen coughs up the puck. Kevin Miller takes a big hit from Gazdic to get the puck out of the zone, and Pakarinen takes it and slings it right back in. It comes all the way around the boards. Hayes to Spooner. Nice reach to gather in the puck. Pulls up, fires it cross ice. Hayes gets underneath Pakarinen. Hayes tries to leave a pass for Vetrano, but it doesn't connect. Gazdic twirls it out, and Edmonton changes. Miller to Seidenberg. Sends it around through both corners. Nikita Nikitin takes the hit. from Max Talbot to get it forward to Letestu. Miller trying to angle him all the way to the corner. Hendricks right into Miller's stick. Miller pulls up. Hendricks in pursuit. Ronaldo stabs the puck out of Letestu's skates. Now it squirts to Ferraro. A nice turn of the stick and a shove with the backhand. Seidenberg lobs it wide. Justin Schultz on the turn, back of his own goal. Landon Ferraro turns to the forehand, squirts it into the circle. Good pursuit from Talbot, keeps it alive for the moment, but Justin Schultz takes it back for the Oilers. Nikitin behind Hendricks. A bouncer in on Gustafsson. Chara falls down in front. Nugent Hopkins scores. Eberle taking the puck in the corner as Chara caught an edge and went down. And Edmonton has a 2-0 lead 14 minutes in.
Opportunistic of these Oilers. They're taking advantage of a couple of mistakes by the Bruins in their own zone. When you're on a 5-game winning streak, it's funny how those good breaks go your way. But it's really unforced errors by Boston that have them down 2-0. Chara goes back. I mean, this is a simple little dump in, cross corner. Go get it. You know the pressure's coming. But he loses an edge. Down he goes. And now the Bruins aren't thinking defense, Jack, but they're thinking breakout. They're thinking puck possession. They're thinking get in position and turn up, get some speed going. And all of a sudden, Nugent Hopkins is wide open.
Miller cross ice to Torrey Krug. Kevin Miller ahead to David Krejci, works toward Nurse. Krejci high slot. Eberle wins the puck away from Bolesky. Nugent Hopkins to Sekera. Around the boards. Carew gives it back to Sekera. Eberle gives it away to Kevin Miller. He risks it wide of the goal. Darnell Nurse touches it to the boards, but here's Torrey Krug firing it into Darnell Nurse in the high slot. Nugent Hopkins to Nurse. Eberle decides not to pursue, but to get fresh legs on the end.
Have the patience if you're at that point to get that puck back down below the goal line. Don't have that little soft wrist shot get knocked down. Keep it deep.
8th goal of the season for Nugent Hopkins.
Draisaitl kicks to the stick. Here's Taylor Hall trying to split the seam on McQuaid and Chara, but they sandwich him. Hall pulls away from the boards. Chara up the boards for Connolly. Can't get the puck out of the zone. Davidson's shot, an easy stick save for Gustafsson. Hall into Davidson's skates. Bergeron blocks that to the corner. Chara unable to get the puck through to McQuaid, who puts the stick on Draisaitl and is going to go for hooking. Stick parallel to the ice. 4:27 to go first period. Edmonton's already up 2 and goes on the power play when the game resumes.
Bros defenseman Adam McQuaid going to go to the box for a hook. He's in a one-on-one battle with Draisaitl. Draisaitl's going to help this line a little bit, but the stick's in place. Referee gets a good look at it. I thought it was going to be interference, to be honest with you, Jack, but they're going to call it a hook. Power play, Oilers with a 2-0 lead.
Justin Schultz gives to Taylor Hall. Marchand breaks it up. He goes up ice with Bergeron. Hall caves in Marchand. The crowd pleading for a call, but it won't come. Hall's pass is behind Purcell. Chara pokes the puck ahead. Marchand goes to the corner. Hall blasts into Marchand. That's going to be boarding.
Bully.
And there goes the power play for Edmonton.
Yeah, you got to pull up there, plain and simple. Good effort by Marchand. Chara stands up on a bad pass in center ice by Edmonton. Keeps the play moving forward. Marchand pulls it down the wall. He's going to try Schultz one-on-one. When that puck's not coming with him, he's got to stay to fight the battle along the wall. And some might argue that he put himself in a position knowing Hall was coming, but he's got his back to him the entire time, really. That slight little move there is why you'll get an argument for Edmonton. But Hall's going to go. You just got to go in there with the bear hug. Or go in with your stick looking to pull that puck out, one or the other. Make body contact in there. It's just too awkward. It's too funny looking. And they're going to call that a penalty.
So 4-on-4 now. Letestu trying to rip the puck out of Landon Ferraro's skates. Sekera back of the goal. Spooner in pursuit. Hendricks off the end boards. Nurse sends it all the way around, and it's a turnover. Kevin Miller keeps it in the attacking zone. Pass Sekera all the way to Nurse. Here comes Spooner. Nurse spoons it forward. Letestu can't get it past Krug. Krug decides to keep possession and bring it all the way back to the Boston zone. Edmonton's goal differential 4-on-4 is -1. The Bruins are even on the season. Nurse wraps the puck through the corner to Eberle. 3/4 of a minute to go in the 5-on-5. Brandon Davidson, puck rushing defenseman in front. Gustafsson kicks it forward. Bolesky works one-on-one against Justin Schultz. Bolesky waits, maneuvers to the slot, and rifles off a shot wide on Talbot's glove side. Bolesky with a steal against Davidson, shoves it toward the front. It comes off Nugent Hopkins, and Talbot will smother it. Some good energy from Matt Bolesky.
Absolutely. You hope this is infectious, because this is a real good effort after the right pad stop. Gustafsson, he's a one-on-one, and he creates an opportunity for himself. Almost did a spin-a-ram and look for somebody coming late. Created his own shot. Then he's a one-man forechecking machine. He's able to pull the puck away from Davidson. He's got away from Schultz. He tries to wrap around. He looks to jam one home. And hopefully the Bruins feel off that energy from what he's just provided here in this 4-on-4 situation.
Bergeron, Marchand, Chara, and Colin Miller. And in 15 seconds, the Bruins will have a very brief power play with McQuaid ready to come out of the box. Nurse, a long wrist shot, and Gustafsson has to take a face-off.
Be at TD Garden when the puck drops this Wednesday night against Sidney Crosby and the Penguins at 8, and Sunday evening against the Devils at 5. Individual game tickets are also available for all upcoming home games this season. To purchase tickets, visit bostonbruins.com/tickets.
Adam McQuaid set to come out of the box. Has not scored a goal in 79 consecutive regular season games, holding 9 in his career. Not much of a threat, but you never know. 3 seconds to go in the penalty kill as that puck fluttered all the way up to the little entrance kiosks. Linesman Brian Murphy over the face-off. Bergeron wins it away from Lander. Krug a little delay and then sends it back of his goal. McQuaid out of the box, goes straight to the Boston bench, and Connolly, Cowboys over the boards. Bergeron leaves it back for Marchand, gets ahead of steam going into the attacking zone. Marchand around Lander, keeps his balance. He was way back on his rockers. Here's Krug over to Chara. Krug in the middle of the drive, hits the pile. Bergeron flips it toward goal, and Talbot makes the stop. It's back to 5-on-5. Hall's out of the box. Krug to Marchand. He closes the shot. A blocker stopped off the referee, and it bounces down in the circle. Chara overpowers Lander. Bergeron with Seidenberg fresh off the bench on a change. Down low for Connolly. Gryba throws Connolly off the puck, and here comes Taylor Hall skating it out of his own zone around Bergeron. Goes down, not a trip. Bergeron's long shot, juicy rebound past the dot. Vatrano can't pick it up against Purcell, and here comes Draisaitl flying up the off wing. But the Bruins have too many bodies back. McQuaid, Connolly, and Seidenberg all there. Vatrano wins the race, no icing, as Sekera gets beaten to the end boards. Nurse tries to throw Eriksson off balance. Rather, it's Spooner, pardon me. And Talbot covers up to take the face-off in the Edmonton end. About a minute to go in the first, and the Bruins have gotten the wake-up call.
Yeah, a little surge here. The one-timer by Krug. The rebound chance is out in front of Bergeron. He wins the battle in the one-on-one. Just doesn't have enough power to really do a lot with that backhand. He just tries to get it between the posts, hoping to find the back of the net. Talbot was able to get across and make the stop, but Bruins trying to build something here in the final 2 minutes to go into the intermission feeling better about their game. They're off to a good start, but they find themselves down 2-0 on some bad mistakes.
Schultz loops the puck to his own line. Eberle, who already has a 2-point game. Now Nugent Hopkins and Seidenberg bang hard on the end boards in the final minute of the first period. McQuaid jams the puck loose. A penalty coming here against Boston. And Talbot to the Edmonton bench. Eberle hops on the puck in the corner. Swirls against Spooner. Spooner gets possession. And here comes the call.
And it's going to be on Seidenberg. Had his stick in between the legs and his one-on-one coverage with Nugent Hopkins. Hopkins just goes down, and you can see Seidenberg, John Adams, saying, come on, you got to be harder on the puck than that. Here's where that battle starts. That little spin move to try to get away from the one-on-one coverage by Nugent Hopkins, enough to get the call. Second power play opportunity for the Oilers here in the first period.
No shots on goal on the first one.
Yeah, they only got about what?
About 25 seconds.
Yeah, it wasn't much because of the penalty by Hall.
If you go all the way back to the San Jose game, the Bruins penalty kill has been absolutely brilliant since the 17th of September. Bruins have killed 38 of 41. That is 92.3%. And in that span, only St. Louis, which has killed 30 of 32, has been better. So the year-long stats not indicative of the way the power play has gone, or the penalty kill has gone lately for Boston. Final 5 seconds of the period. Well, the thing about talent is it gives the team the opportunity to capitalize on mistakes. Bruins made a couple, and it's 2-0 Oilers after 20 minutes.
The Oilers had 3 shots at the halfway point in this period, and they were from center ice, basically. And then the Bruins make a mistake in coverage in their own zone, and all of a sudden it's a 1-0 lead by Eberle. Chara, toe pick, or whatever you want to call it. Now all of a sudden it's 2-0 with the goal by Nugent Hopkins. Bruins have dug themselves a hole. I mean, it's what they've done on home ice all year long, and they've been digging themselves out of a home hole record. And now in this game tonight against Edmonton.
Dale, the Bruins have yet to win in any form when down by 2. It has happened for a 9th time tonight. In the previous 8, they're 0-7-1. Boston Bruins Hockey on NESN is brought to you by Ace Ticket. It's more than a ticket. By your New England Chevy dealers. By Echo Store Technologies, your data center solutions provider. By the Acura Oh What Fun It Is to Drive event. By Dunkin' Donuts, America runs on Dunkin'. And by Toyota's official website for deals, buyatoyota.com. We're coming your way live from TD Garden. The Bruins trail Edmonton 2-0 out of the first period after the Oilers capitalized on a couple of Boston mistakes alongside Andy Brickley. With Sarah Davis at ice level and our NESN production crew, I'm Jack Edwards. In the driver's seat, brought to you by Kia. The Bruins, nothing to shout about in terms of their home record, 6-7-1 so far this season. They're in a stretch of playing 9 of 11 at home. They're 1-0 so far. Their special teams ranks, season-long numbers, #1 on the power play. The penalty kill, as we told you earlier, after a horrible start, has been the 2nd best in the league over the last 4 weeks. They are 4-1 in their last 5 games here at TD Garden. First period summary brought to you by NESN.com. And Dennis Seidenberg will begin the second period in the penalty bench.
Yeah, so that penalty killing ought to be very, very good here to start this period, Jack. You don't want to go down 3-0. You got to be convinced, if you're the Boston Bruins, you're going to score some goals tonight. I mean, when they had their mind made up and they spent time in the offensive zone, I mean, they were a dominant team. I mean, they got good looks. They had great motion. They won battles. They took the puck to the net. Not that Talbot had to be spectacular, but the ice was tilted in their favor, and then they give up a couple of, easy goals, I guess, if you want to call them. Almost layup-type goals, Jack. Yep. They got to get a strong penalty kill to start this period.
Well, Well, one of the best in the business, Patrice Bergeron, will take the opening draw. Brad Marchand just one off the league lead in shorthanded goals. The other penalty killing forward. Chara and McQuaid, the opening defensive pair. Chara, on a game-by-game basis, has played a minute more shorthanded time than anybody else on the team. Bergeron takes away Nugent Hopkins' space, squirts it cross ice. Amazing he was able to pry that puck so strongly with so little space. Draisaitl's pass laterally for Taylor Hall. The pirouette, and he punches it off the corner boards. Chara taps around for Talbot. He golfs at it, but Purcell gets his body between Talbot and the puck. Nugent Hopkins, the one-hand touch. Out to the point to Justin Schultz. He gives it away to Chara. It twirls through Nugent Hopkins' hands. Talbot busting middle with Marchand, who can't catch up to it. Justin Schultz to Hall on the quick turn. Draisaitl gains the line, wrists it over to Purcell. He has trouble handling the puck. Chara can't clear. Kevin Miller now out of the corner, tries to bang it up the boards. Purcell stops it there. Talbot gets it to the line, but not out. Sekera cross ice. He did not keep it on the line. It's offside.
It's a good thing. Bruins had two opportunities to get the puck out of the defensive zone, failed to do it. You don't want to give teams extra outs in these situations when they have the man advantage. Tough luck for Bergeron, for Marchand, Jack. 2-on-1 was absolutely in play with Max Talbot. The puck bounced off his body with the fresh ice. You're in the first minute. That puck squirted up ice, and it got so far away from that Schultz was able to come across.
Torrey Krug in the final 10 seconds of the penalty kill wires a couple of hops 200 feet. And Seidenberg comes out of the box. One shot on the power play for Edmonton. So 0 for 2 with one shot for the Oilers so far tonight. Seidenberg finishes his check on Darnell Nurse. Kevin Miller with Lauri Korpikoski lurking right in front of Jonas Gustafsson. Korpikoski coming off a hat trick, the first of his career in the 7-5 win over the Rangers on Friday night in Edmonton. Bolesky to Krejci to Eriksson for Krejci, but he can't knock it down in front. Bolesky off the half boards, the hard pass, Krug's wrist shot saved by Talbot, fighting through Eriksson, who's creating traffic in front against Nurse. Sekera up the boards. Bolesky hammers it cross corner, but the puck got past the line. It's offside.
Purchase a raffle ticket for your chance to win 4 tickets to the 2016 Bridgestone NHL Winter Classic. This prize also includes 4 tickets to the official Bruins tailgate party and 4 tickets to the Winter Classic alumni game. Raffle tickets are just $5, and proceeds benefit the Bruins Foundation. To purchase a ticket, visit bruinsraffles.org.
Cam Talbot stops the puck for Brandon Davidson. Now it's Eric Gryba. The pass off Everly's stick wide of Gustafsson. The Bruins win the race to the dots, and that's icing against Edmonton, the third on the Oilers tonight. Eric Gryba, big physical presence, and he came over to Edmonton for a prospect in picks.
I want to call the Cup down in Binghamton with that group of Senators, Jack. They kind of came up together to the National Hockey League. Does a lot of good things. He competes real hard. From time to time, will take himself out of position to play that physical, and that's when he gets in a little trouble. But when he stays within himself, keeps it simple, and plays, with that high compete level, he's an effective guy.
Yeah. Controls a lot of real estate. A known presence on the ice. This is icing once again. So Bergeron, Marchand, Connolly quickly over the boards.
Yeah, it was early in this shift, or this matchup, if you want to call it that, when the first icing occurred. But now with the second icing, Claude Julien opts to change his forward group, or it's all 5, and bring the Bergeron line out.
Brad Marchand, the Bruins' leading scorer with 14 goals at the top of the circle. Nugent Hopkins against Bergeron on the draw. It's a stalemate. Bergeron's second effort keeps it alive in the corner. Connolly runs into the referee. Krug to Bergeron, the shot, and a save by Talbot. Bergeron almost wrong-footed him, but Talbot stayed centered and strong on his edges to get the left pad on it. Here's a giveaway middle of the zone. Marchand goes around Kara in front to Bergeron. His shot deflects off Nugent Hopkins to the corner. And it's ruled that the puck went up and hit the protective netting, I believe.
Didn't look like it from our angle.
I didn't think so. I thought it just stayed on the glass.
Yeah, Connolly was arguing too that play was still, good. Gonna look at the Bergeron attempt. Edmonton thought they had the turnover, started thinking offense, wasn't clearly in possession. Bergeron gets the chance. Good save by Talbot. Second one, good defensive stick position by the Oilers.
McQuaid shot off Taylor Hall all the way back to the Boston line. Bergeron in the center circle, coming back to the puck, loops around Draisaitl, throws it off his body. Here's Connolly jamming it in front. Marchand couldn't get the puck under control and came up high off Talbot's stop. Bergeron jamming around. Hall in the corner. Marchand goes after it. Hall a pass to Draisaitl. He just guns it off the boards. That gets up on edge, rolls the length of the ice, no icing. Chara taps to Bergeron off a leg, all the way to the line. Justin Schultz keeps it in the zone, right across the front, off the crossbar and out. The Bruins almost had another mistake. Turned the wrong way.
And that play was close to being offside too.
Marchand, serpentine route up the left wing boards. The hard wrist shot on Talbot. He'll have to take a face-off in his own zone. And Patrice Bergeron showing a little bit of frustration here as the Bruins try to dig out of a 2-0 hole.
Well, Chara's under pressure by Purcell. He tries to just kind of a little reverse, chip it in the corner, and Bergeron's the first guy back to lend help. And that puck deflects from the right wing boards out to that right point, and somehow that puck stays in the offensive zone. And then you had funny things happen to that puck. It was bouncing, it was being tipped, it deflected up off the crossbar. The rebound was there. That was on edge with an open net.
Whew. Spooner right off the drop, and Talbot makes a nice glove stop.
It's an impressive play by any centerman. We've seen guys through the years do. I remember when I was a kid, Derek Sanderson would do a play like that. I've seen Adam Oates score goals in that fashion as well.
Spooner working out of the corner. 20-year-old Darnell Nurse up the boards. Hayes chips the puck over to Spooner. A quick little skating move opens up space for Hayes. Turns. Vetrano can't control the puck. Hayes to Vetrano. The shot. Nurse with the block. Vetrano a circle move to Seidenberg. The wrist shot wide. Spooner hustles after it. Hayes in front, and it comes off the toe of his blade with a good opportunity. Jimmy Hayes unable to find the back of the goal. Seidenberg hand passes the puck, and the face-off's going to be in the neutral zone.
Once again, we're looking for the best backyard rink in New England. It's time to get your rink ready. Then visit NESN.com/rinks to upload a video of your rink. I'll pick the best backyard rink in the region and visit you on your home ice. You could also win a custom jersey chair from mycustomsportschair.com. So visit NESN.com/rinks to upload your video tonight.
The Oilers haven't exactly charged out of the dressing room. It took them more than 7 minutes in the first period to get their first shot on goal, and they've gone 5 minutes here in the second period without a shot on goal, although they do have a crossbar that doesn't officially count as a shot on goal. Talbot caves in Hendricks. Kevin Miller flips the puck off the boards. Ronaldo with a head of steam. Greiba cuts him off. That's that physical presence of which we spoke. Krug pinches down the boards. Talbot receives a big hit from Brandon Davidson. Greiba on the receiving end of Ronaldo's shoulder. Here's Davidson sprinting to the corner. Whips it off the boards. Chara keeps the puck in the zone, but Greiba takes possession back for Edmonton. Up ahead to Hendricks. He just deflects it out. Eberle hunting the puck for Edmonton as McQuaid spins away from it. McQuaid indirect for Bolesky in the neutral zone. Nikita Nikitin nurses, not Darnell, but Nikita Nikitin nurses an icing out.
You can help us out by taking a 2-minute survey at NESN.com/survey. We'll give you a chance to win 2 tickets to see the Bruins take on the Ducks on January 26th. Visit NESN.com/survey during tonight's game for your chance to win. Ducks continue to struggle offensively.
Schultz wraps the puck through the slot, nobody home. McQuaid indirect for Erickson. Louis Erickson through the corner. Talbot very active, stops it back of his goal. Schultz around for Everly, can't clear the zone. Seidenberg wrists it through the corner. Krejci trying to hold off Nikitin. Nikitin draped on his back. Colin Miller reverses. Erickson unopposed forward to the goal line. Louis Erickson tangling against Schultz. Now Nugent Hopkins. Erickson through the corner. The wagon wheel there as Colin Miller turns away from Carew. Bolesky to Erickson. Bolesky gets it back, shields the puck. The wrist shot off a stick. Erickson after it against Nugent Hopkins. The Bruins getting good attacking zone time here. The long change in the second period. Colin Miller shatters the blade, but the bench is right there, so no big space penalty. Actually, they just change him out. Chara comes on the ice. Bolesky forward to the goal line, takes a hit from Schultz. Nikitin fishes it out of there. Everly can't control the puck and then stumbles and stays with it. Gets it to Nugent Hopkins. Nugent Hopkins gets to the blue line and gets a change.
In the last two shifts, the Bruins have thrown the puck when they haven't had shots on goal back below the goal line 6, 7, maybe 8 times. And if they stay with that, you're going to wear down this Edmonton team. They're going to make mistakes in their own zone, and you're going to create more lanes to the net.
Marchand steals from Sekera. Connolly's shot sticked aside by Talbot. Connolly in the corner, swims around Nurse. Nurse pins him in, but Marchand's right there. The puck comes off the heel of his blade. Sekera scoops it up looking for Hall in the neutral zone. Marchand with the quick re-entry, but Connolly has yet to clear the zone. It's offside. 12:08 to go, second period. The Bruins applying the effort. It's still with nothing to show for it.
Tonight's Mobile Bruins poll presented by the all-new Scion IA and Scion IM. We're asking you, which is your favorite Bruins jersey? Reply A for the home black jersey, B for the road white, C for the men in black third jersey, or D for the 2016 Bridgestone Winter Classic presentation. Text your answer to 536-536. Jack and Brick, anything with black I find pretty intimidating on a jersey, so I'm going to go with one of those. But which one in this holiday season would you like to receive as a gift?
You know, I like the men in black sweaters, but nothing beats the spoked B right over the heart. Love the home blacks. The traditional look. Hendricks overskates the puck. Korpikoski flips the backhand through the corner. Hendricks comes barreling in on Kevin Miller. Torrey Krug off the boards, can't clear the zone. Hendricks along the line. Keeps the puck around. Krug one-hands it back to the point. Greiva picks it up on the cross ice pass from Davidson. This puck bounces off a skate, up and out. And I think they're going to rule it off Edmonton, so the face-off just outside the Boston line. That Testu, Hendricks, Korpikoski line has been really successful against the Bruins in this season series.
Yeah, not a bad shift there. First time really they've had any significant time, if you want to call it that, in the Bruins defensive zone here in period number 2. Still just 12 shots for Edmonton in the hockey game. Obviously, again, you can count on one hand the scoring chances for your opponent.
Colin Miller with a nifty skating move around Luke Gazdic. Petrano turns and fires a juicy rebound. Talbot steers it all the way past the hash marks. Jimmy Hayes over the line. Spooner's high wrist shot goes over Talbot's reach. Petrano in the corner. Seidenberg gets the skate behind it to make sure the puck stays in the zone. Spooner, Petrano on the rebound. Petrano keeps digging, and Talbot reaches behind the left leg to make sure the puck doesn't wiggle across the line. Terrific effort by the Spooner line.
And again, Jack, puck's below the goal line. It starts with Spooner going high over the glove into the corner to allow Petrano to get it. Seidenberg doesn't have a lane to the net, so it goes hard off the boards below the goal line. The Bruins are able to get to those pucks, and if they don't get there first, they create the turnover, and Petrano gets 2 pretty good opportunities. Second one, not a lot on it, but it was there. First one, nice stop by Talbot. And this is a real challenge for Boston. You got to stay positive. You got to stay with it. You're going to get chances. Keep the pressure. Spend as much time in that offensive zone, and don't worry about the clock, and don't worry about the score. Play the game.
Shots are 8-0 for the Bruins in the second period. Torrey Krug's wrist shot, double deflection, and it hits Talbot and goes over the bar. Krejci, stutter step, finds space. Bolesky's drive goes off of Sakura right in front of Talbot. Bolesky to the far boards to keep the puck alive. It pinballs off Sakura and Nurse. Krejci puts the body on him, and Nugent Hopkins gloves it down for Nurse. Eberle, Eriksson, here's Bolesky's drive. And let's go Bruins, the chant from the crowd at TD Garden. Krejci getting underneath. Looks for Bolesky, but Eberle with a stick lift. Gustafsson steers it back of his own goal. Kevin Miller reverses. Eberle hunting the puck, but it comes all the way to Bolesky. Bolesky, the short pass for Krejci, opens up space. Missed stick handles, stabs at it. Bolesky with a body check, drops Greiber right in front of his own goal. Chara bats the puck to keep it inside the zone. Purcell at the red line rides it down into the corner.
We just get the sense something good's going to happen for Bolesky tonight.
Connolly off the end boards. Krug back to Connolly, who has just one goal in his last 18 games. 9:35 to go, second period. The Bruins bring in the body. Matt Bolesky dropping Eric Greiber.
Better not cry.
The exciting rewind is brought to you by Berkshire Bank, where no two customers are alike. We're going to rewind it back to the first period, the first goal of the game. 3 looks at the goal by Jordan Eberle. Bruins had really been dominant to this point in the hockey game, but it was the Greiber shot that got blocked by Bolesky. It came right back to him, and now the Bruins a little unsure of coverage in front of the net. They want to box out. They want to make sure that Gustafsson gets a good look at this shot, which he does, but it goes wide on the blocker side. Miller's all by himself. He's trying to handle 2 people on the box out, but Eberle's going to get to it first. And even from a bad angle, the immense skill around the net by Jordan Eberle, able to get that puck almost in a chipping style up quickly over the blocker, under the crossbar. And that changed the hockey game in that first period, certainly for a while.
Patrice Bergeron 3 for 5 against Leon Draisaitl on faceoffs, and make it 4 for 6 tonight. Chara off Purcell's stick. Connolly sends the puck down the outside and then just plays the body on the end boards, flattening Davidson, and the Bruins are bringing the physical play to Edmonton's end of the ice. Marchand and Bergeron working forward to the goal line. Marchand pries it out of Draisaitl's skates. Greiber gets a stick in, flips the backhand pass Bergeron, but McQuaid gets it in deep. Marchand to Bergeron, fires it off the metal apron of the goal. Connolly pries the puck away from Greiber. Draisaitl knocks down Marchand. It's a hand pass ruled against the Bruins in the attacking zone. The faceoff comes out to the neutral ice.
The TD Bank Community Clubhouse and the Boston Bruins would like to welcome the Homework Center Tutoring Student Advisory Board from the Framingham Public Library to tonight's game. At TD Bank, they're committed to supporting the communities they serve by making a difference together.
You alluded to it earlier. You get the feeling it's coming. The Bruins are just bringing all kinds of pressure and hunger around the puck.
Yeah, then if you can get the next goal, obviously, and make it 2-1, it puts a little doubt in a team that has struggled to win in this building, win in this town. And it's a young team, and that momentum pendulum can swing against them just as quickly as it can swing for them because of their youth.
Yeah, it's been a while. Like the 7th of November, 1996. The last time Edmonton won in Boston. A 6-0 victory that night. Justin Schultz. Nikita Nikitin scoops the puck out. Colin Miller drops back, gives to Seidenberg. Seidenberg takes the hit from Hendricks. Miller hard off Talbot's stick and bounces over into the center circle. Nikitin goes backward, gives it forward. Puckarainen can't keep the puck in possession. Ferraro gets caved in but gains the line. Puckarainen flips the puck to the Boston blue line. Colin Miller trying to escape Luke Gazdik's forecheck. Miller goes hard up the boards. Ferraro to Talbot. He spins it in. The Bruins change out. Hayes hard across the ice to cover the space. Vetrano and Spooner also up front. Darnell Nurse gives to Sekera off Vetrano's stick. Pekka chops down on Vetrano, but Vetrano keeps possession. Indirect to Hayes. Bangs it off the boards. It wiggles behind Talbot's goal. Gives it away. Spooner right there. Here's Vetrano dangling against Nurse. Holds it on the edge. Vetrano tries to scoot inside, turns back to the forehand. Nurse down to a knee. Vetrano cycling with Miller, who goes low. Krug throws the puck to space, and here comes the right defenseman, Kevin Miller, in the left wing corner. He pressures Sekera along with Spooner. Spooner on the end wall against Gazdic. Here's Hayes. Throws the puck to the boards, and Lander just punches it off the boards and out. Miller waits for the change. Gives to Vetrano. Spins it to the end boards. Nurse, the tap up the wall for Sekera. Sekera can't clear. Everly off the boards does, but Chara's there. Krejci stick handling through traffic, settling it for Bolesky. Charging down the off wing, tries to cut to the post. Nurse rides him off. Krejci stuffs it in. It might be Bolesky's goal all the way. They don't ask how pretty, they just ask how many. And it has been a tremendous effort by the Bruins finally to break the ice on Cam Talbot.
Wear him down, make him play defense, keep that puck a little below the goal line if you don't have anything into the slot. And you had a feeling something good was going to happen for Bolesky. The effort's been there. You know, more than the effort, actually. So he's going to factor in on this goal. But it's a nice play in the neutral zone. Chara kept the play alive with good stick. Swatted the puck a couple times, and Krejci was the next layer, picked the puck up, and he turns defense into offense in the neutral zone. Finds Bolesky on the off wing, and a good hard net drive by Bolesky.
Edmonton still without a shot on goal in the second period, and now the Bruins have cut it to 2-1. Marchand making, Draisaitl just about beheaded Marchand, whipping the stick around after Marchand had stolen the puck just outside the Edmonton zone. No icing here.
I'm pretty sure that was Bolesky's goal too, Jeff.
Yep. Bruins goal brought to you by Audi. Listen to the crowd at TD Garden. Marchand's shot, and Talbot has to make another save. Literally all Boston in the second period. Edmonton without a shot on goal, and Bolesky has cut the lead in half. High-strength steel play brought to you by the Chevy dealers of New England.
Matt Bolesky's been around the puck all night long. He's created some opportunities for himself with just good old-fashioned hard work. Put the boots on as he does every night. He's getting rid of the play by Nurse, but he's trying to get that puck to the front of the net somehow. He knows he has Krejci on the net drive. Maybe if I can get that puck to my forehand, I can sneak one short side up high, but I got ridden off. But that puck has eyes, and law of averages, I'll tell you. Bolesky, great effort tonight. You knew something good had to happen. I mean, that's a long night when you put that kind of work in and you're not rewarded. So nice to see him get on the board, and it's a big goal to cut this lead in half.
Talbot wins the draw to the boards. Ferraro battling. Seidenberg wrists it wide. Matt Hendricks one-hands it. Colin Miller bangs it right back past the hash marks. Nikita Nikitin under pressure. Ferraro finishes his check. Hendricks into Talbot's body. Hits the brakes hard to keep the puck in the zone. Nikitin skates into the corner. Off Letestu's blade, and the puck bounces past the red line. Seidenberg off the boards. Korpikoski can't get it because Talbot puts the body on him. Seidenberg whips it over to Colin Miller. Miller gains the line, flies to the hash marks. A juicy rebound as Talbot left it hanging right in front of the goal. But Justin Schultz cleans it up.
If they're going to give you the ice, go ahead and take it. That's what Colin Miller did.
Nikitin fires it up past the red line. Letestu deflects. Seidenberg snaps it D to Krug. Here's Spooner through the seam. He's got Hayes in the middle. Vetrano out high. Back to Vetrano. The shot comes right back to him off the block by Pekarinen. Vetrano tries again, and Talbot makes the save.
The Vetrano had Krug. Had he seen him over his left shoulder, he would have been walking in around the hash marks. Prior to that, Colin Miller, little hinge work with his partner Dennis Seidenberg, and now all of a sudden, hey, there's some ice in front of me. Hendricks is a forward. He's trying to pivot on that left wing. No chance. Miller explodes by him. He takes a purposeful shot, low to that stick side, right pad saved Talbot. There was a rebound there eventually. And then the Bruins in transition, hard pass, Seidenberg to Krug, fresh on the ice for Miller. He finds Spooner with speed through the neutral zone, who finds for Toronto, and then Krug jumps right back into the play. Because he's coming from the blind side with Toronto, I don't think ever saw him.
Hayes in the shooter's spot. Has seen his teammate Bolesky get off the schneid. Hayes with just 1 goal in his last 14 games. Puckarinen skies it cross ice. Miller back after the puck off the end boards. Torrey Krug with the tight turn, deflects off a skate right through the middle. Anton Lander can't capitalize for Edmonton. Puckarinen gets it deep. Krug doesn't get much on it. Here's Gazdic holding off the Spooner check. Krug with the turn right past the post, and 4 abreast the Bruins come up the ice. But Toronto tries the self-pass. Sekera shoulders him to try to keep him away from the puck. Sekera now goes past the Zamboni doors, but Toronto with the angle and the effort to limit Sekera's ability to move. McQuaid around the boards. Sekera reverses for Darnell Nurse. 16 minutes into the second period, Edmonton has no shots on goal during this middle frame. Everly off the linesman. The Bruins with great layers back. Eriksson headmans the puck to Bolesky. Bolesky 1-on-2, rams it into Greiba's skates. Greiba hard into the boards but keeps his balance. Eriksson slings it around the boards. McQuaid chops it down to Krejci. Lifts it off the dasher. Greiba gets his stick in the way of Eriksson. Davidson muscles it out of his own zone. Everly to Nugent Hopkins. Pulls up Greiba's drive. Saved by Gustafsson. It took 16 minutes and 37 seconds for Edmonton to get a shot on goal in the second period.
That's because the Bruins kept getting the loose pucks, number one, winning the races, controlling the puck, protecting it, more importantly, putting the puck below the goal line. I know it's not fancy and it's not exciting, but what it does is it's effective. It forces a young team to have to play defense in their own zone. They're not great at it. They don't love it. It's hard work.
Greiba the shot, and Gustafsson makes another stop. Seidenberg off the glass. It bounces down into the Edmonton zone. Bergeron swivels the puck to keep it onside. It's off Marchand, skates to Teddy Purcell. The UMaine product gives it away to Chara. Now Eric Greiba off glass. It hits Purcell in the back in front of the penalty bench. Seidenberg off Connolly. Marchand with patience fires it right across the goal mouth. Purcell jams. Draisaitl outlets for Taylor Hall. His pass into Marchand's skates. Hall keeps coming. Seidenberg puts the body on him. Purcell and Draisaitl saved by Gustafsson. His third shot on goal in the period. The season low for a Bruins opponent in a period is 3 by the Islanders on the 23rd of October. A 5-3 win by the Bruins. 2:15 to go in the period. Bergeron picks Schultz clean. 3-on-1. Marchand loses the puck and loses an edge, but then he gets back up. Gives to Krug the wrist shot. Off Hendricks. Ferraro stabs at it and takes it loose. The diagonal to Miller. Slap passes behind Ronaldo. Ferraro gets the chance from Talbot. Sweet feed in front. Ronaldo in the corner. Nikitin can't staple him in. The Oilers playing with a man without a stick. Lori Korpikoski ended up without one. Talbot going into the corner. Ronaldo plucks the puck out of the air. Minute 20 to go in the period. Puckarinen gets underneath Krug. Kevin Miller turns the Boston goal. Decides to reverse, and Krug has to go back to pick it up as Edmonton changes. Max Talbot hard around, knowing Vetrano's on the far side, but the puck never gets all the way to the corner. Eberle on the steal. Jordan Eberle closing, cuts back at the hash marks. The shot, a save by Gustafsson. Talbot feeds Vetrano ahead, working against Darnell Nurse. The Bruins take a change. Vetrano gets the shot and follows to force Talbot to have to take a face-off in his own end with 45 seconds to go.
Bruins had a couple of real good opportunities. One, they don't get a shot away. The steal by Bergeron in the neutral zone. I mean, that's just great stick position. All of a sudden, a 2-on-1 bouncing pass, and Marchand can't handle it. After that, though, or prior to that, Ferraro had a real good chance from below the dot, right around that bottom arc of the circle, and that was good pressure. And again, you're wearing this team down. You're putting doubt in their mind, despite their 5-game winning streak. And this is the way they have to play for the final 45 seconds, plus the third period.
That was a sweet feed from Talbot to set up Ferraro. Eyes in the back of the head. Bergeron softly into the corner. Hayes holds off Sekera. Hayes goes down. Vetrano jams for the puck. Letestu comes away with it with half a minute to go in the second. Wobbles one toward Gustafsson. Eberle on the forecheck. 20 seconds to go in the period. Patrice Bergeron gains the line, tumbles the backhand, and Talbot will have to take a face-off with 13.5 seconds to go.
Jack, we talked a lot this period about getting that puck below the goal line when you don't have shots on goal in Boston, because they've spent a lot of time behind that goal line. You're drawing people in there. You're getting man-on-man coverage. Breakdowns occur. You get inside position in the scoring areas as a result. A nice feed from Talbot. Ferraro gets that inside position. That's a scoring area. That's a quality scoring chance. Talbot had to make a big-time stop.
Frank Vetrano, who loves to shoot the puck, had just 4 shots on goal in his previous 3 games. He's got 5 already in the first 2 periods. Tonight, Marchand has 6 shots on goal and is probably kicking himself for not having a 7th. Krejci and Letestu stalemate. Krejci fights right through, gets tripped. The Bruins are going to have a power play to begin the third period on a perfect sheet of ice.
Maybe.
Yeah, unless they score the next 9 seconds. And we've seen stranger things.
Well, this puck is kind of up for grabs initially off the draw, and David Krejci's going to find it. Step around his man, Letestu. Stick between the legs. Krejci down. Boston power play. Just under 10 seconds to go. You got time for 1, maybe 2 good scoring chances here.
Of note, Letestu leads all Oilers forwards in shorthanded time on ice. Spooner tries to jam the short post. Eriksson into the corner. 2 seconds to go in the period. And Davidson will waste the rest of the clock. But the Bruins will have almost the full 2 minutes on a clean sheet to begin the third after dominating the second period.
The only thing the Bruins didn't do in this period that they probably set out to do was to tie the hockey game or take the lead. They absolutely limited the Oilers to anything that they wanted to do. 2, 3 shots, whatever they were. Maybe they had 1 scoring chance. And they spent a ton of time in the offensive zone when they put the puck below the goal line. They know what it's going to take to win this hockey game, and they got to do all of that in the final 20 minutes.
Dale, they have shown a good lack of memory when it comes to those early mistakes. They have really applied themselves physically. Boston Bruins Hockey on NESN is brought to you by your local New England Audi dealers. Find special offers at AudiOffers.com. By Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. By Cialis. By Amica, Auto, Home, and Life Insurance. And by the Subaru dealers of New England. A tremendous effort by the Bruins in the second period. They limited Edmonton to 3 minutes and 45 seconds of attacking zone time at even strength. Yet Cam Talbot has the Oil ahead with 20 minutes to play. 2-1. Moments ago, Andy Brickley went through the first 40 minutes with Bruins assistant coach Doug Huda.
Doug, early signs in the first period that you could be a dominant team in the offensive zone, but you get down 2-0 in the hockey game. What was the message to the group between periods?
Well, get back to it. We had a pretty good first 10 minutes, and then they scored, and we sort of got on our heels for a few. But beginning of the second period, we went right after them, got some pucks in deep, and obviously had some ozone time, and we got to get a little nastier in front of their net and keep trying to create some traffic there.
How infectious can a guy like Matt Bolesky's effort be for the rest of the team?
Absolutely. Matty's a hard-working guy and hasn't been rewarded enough. So that's a great, it's a great goal for him to get, and obviously it's a big boost for our team.
Well, you guys are rolling at home. Keep it going. Good luck in the third period.
Thanks, guys.
Well, when you're a top 6 forward, you expect to score a goal at least once every 4 games. And when it's not going in, even among these elite athletes, you sometimes see a guy hang his head and start to cut off his rushes a little bit early. Not Matt Bolesky. If anything, he has redoubled his effort, and he has lifted his team tonight while finally cracking the goal column again. And the Bruins start the third period on a power play. The game summary brought to you by NESN.com.
Look for that low play. Look for that Krug off that far post if you go down to Louis Eriksson. At least put that thought in their minds. And when you do that, Jack, I'm telling you, things open up a little bit more out high for this first unit.
Bergeron wins the draw, so the Bruins have possession with the man advantage. Krejci to Krug over the line with Eriksson on his left. Around the boards, Bergeron bunts it to Spooner, indirect to Krejci. Turns the stick and then gives over to Krug. Back to Krejci facing Hendrick. Spooner's drive and a save by Talbot.
Ryan Spooner is encouraged to shoot the puck from the half wall, scored a goal closer to the net than he was on this one-timer against Florida last game. But they're encouraging Spooner to take that shot. That shot gets a little bit more effective and a little closer to the net with the threat of that low play.
Krejci draws Lander's attention, gives over to Krug. Krejci to Spooner. Low for Eriksson across the goal mouth. Greiba just tackles Krug on the far post. Krejci to Bergeron. The shot and a stick saved by Cam Talbot. Eriksson one-hand tap to Bergeron. To Krug, it's the bumper. Krejci's driving, another save by Talbot, steering the rebound to the corner. Bergeron on the half boards with Krug as the bumper now. Eriksson tries to wiggle on Greiba and then wands it back to Krejci to Spooner to Krug out. High, good movement from the Bruins. Krejci going down to the half boards, has Eriksson in front. Cross ice pass looking for Bergeron. Lander takes it and strokes it down the ice. 5 shots on goal already in the first minute and a half of the power play. Colin Miller shortens the stick, holds off Pekarinen, and sends the puck around through both corners. Bolesky gets it loose. Marchand's pass, not enough oomph on it to get it to Chara, and Pekarinen flies it down. Last rush of the power play for Boston. Brad Marchand, the cutback goes right through Nugent Hopkins. Marchand against Sekera. Now Chara back at the point, intentionally wide, clunks off the boards to Letestu. And the penalty has expired. Marchand over the line with Connolly going middle. The shot saved Talbot. The rebound. Bolesky got it loose but couldn't connect on the backhand as he was losing his balance past the post. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins accelerates into the Boston zone. Jordan Eberle cuts to the middle. The backhand saved by Gustafsson. Rebound. Quick whistle. And Edmonton has a grievance here. But they're going to call a hooking call against the Oilers. So not only is the goal negated, but they're going to be shorthanded as well as referee Eric Furlat glides to center ice.
No, this is a big call going Boston's way if the call's going against Edmonton because they're lining up for a face-off with the Bruins' end.
What?
Take a look at the play right here. I mean, this is just Nugent-Hopkins going over to Eberle, and the Bruins get a little beaten coverage here. Chara gets beat to the inside. Nugent-Hopkins on the net drive. He goes backhand and a big-time stop initially. But that puck is loose. Eberle's able to scoop it up and lay it in the open net. Penalties on Boston.
Wow.
Boston really never had possession other than the shot on goal.
That's why I deduced that the penalty was on Edmonton, because the Bruins clearly had no possession there. Gustafsson never tied it up. Well, it is. Even though the Bruins have to kill a penalty here, it's a huge break for them.
Exactly.
Because that was in the goal.
I mean, you just can't get beat like that. Chara pivoting to the outside. That really cuts to the middle, unchallenged.
Boston penalty number 63, Brad Marchand. Shooting hooking.
So Marchand for hooking. Taylor Hall's shot into Seidenberg's legs. Justin Schultz, the wrist shot, and it goes off the end boards as Gustafsson gets a piece of it going wide of the post. McQuaid scoots around Draisaitl, finds the opening and guns it down the ice.
You know, that non-goal by Eberle was a little bit more like the game in Edmonton where they just wanted to play a little shitty.
Talbot knocks the puck toward the slot, but Ferraro can't recover it. Justin Schultz finds Nugent Hopkins on the left. Around the boards, off Eriksson's skates, Draisaitl pries it loose. David Krejci comes up with it and lobs it all the way off the end boards. Minute 10 to go in Marchand's penalty. Let's go Bruins, the chant from the TD Garden crowd. Puckarinen brings it back. Sekera's drive off the pile. Eberle's bomb. And Gustafsson makes a strong right to left move. Now Chara clearing out Puckarinen from in front.
Pretty good bounce here to get back towards that right point for the follow-up shot. Drive by Sekera, and then that lengthy rebound to Eberle. Because the rebound is lengthy and it has to travel all the way out beyond the tops of the circle, that gives ample time for Gustafsson to get across right to left.
Off the drop, Chara finds it and flicks the puck all the way to the Edmonton zone. Still 3/4 of a minute on the power play as Sekera, who was brought into Edmonton in part to run the power play from out top, gives back to Korpikoski. That was ugly over the line, but it worked. Eberle off the boards to Sekera. Eberle, Puckarinen, Bergeron picks his pocket. Waits for Spooner. Bergeron's shot. Can't get it under the bar on the stick side. McQuaid wrists the puck in. 15 seconds to go on the penalty kill for Boston. Hey! Taylor Hall gives forward to Leon Draisaitl. Just one shot on goal for the Oilers during the man advantage. Seidenberg off the glass. Marchand picks it up fresh out of the box with a B under his bonnet. Turns to the forehand. The drive by Ferraro and a save by Cam Talbot. Purcell digs the puck off the end boards, goes north and south with it. Ronaldo cuts off his path. Nurse slings it into the zone. It's offside.
Step up a game by tuning into the all-new TV series Bruins Academy, created for youths who love the game of hockey. The first episode premieres this Sunday afternoon at 3:30 right here on NESN. Bruins Academy will feature segments and instruction involving Bruins players, coaches, management, and medical and training staff, as well as NHL on-ice officials and personnel. Each episode will also provide viewers with an in-depth insights on the game. To learn more, visit bostonbruins.com. Bruins Academy.
Nugent Hopkins wins the draw against Krejci. Davidson to Kreiber with Bolesky right in his grill. Krejci on the end boards. Nugent Hopkins can't get it past Colin Miller. He flips up into Davidson's skates. A little panic move, but he finds it to Kara. Here's Eberle with a quick turn. Goes inside Krug, but can't complete the move as the Bruins get numbers back. Eriksson off the boards. It spins forward. Eberle tries to golf it past Krug, but Krug gets the body in the way. Eriksson shields the puck from Nugent Hopkins. Colin Miller ahead for Krejci. Back to Miller. Over the line, the wrist shot deflects off of Nikitin's stick. And Talbot makes sure it goes wide. Letestu sends Hendricks up the left side of the neutral zone around the board. Seidenberg on the turn. Out Spooner to the dot to Miller. He flips it out over the spoke B. The Bruins in the middle of a change. Lori Korpikoski with the hat trick a couple of nights ago goes cross ice into the 6th row.
Tonight after the postgame, keep it here for NESN Sports Today, presented by People's United Bank. Adam and Lisa will have more Bruins coverage. Reaction from Bill Belichick on the Patriots win last night in Houston. And the latest from Celtics practice as they get ready to take on LeBron James and the Cavaliers. Get all you need to know tonight following postgame show. Jack, Bruins now, they started the period with a power play. They got a number of good looks, 5 good shots with that man advantage. Then they had a killer penalty. Now they got to get back to doing what? Getting the puck in the offensive zone and spending some time deep in the offensive end like they did in period number 2, below the goal line, and force Edmonton to play defense.
Okay, so what are the options for a forward carrying the puck toward the blue line? If you have possession, take it, or just get it deep?
Well, look for support. If you got somebody close to you and you can isolate a guy and create a 2-on-1, you can make a play there. Maybe a soft chip down the wall, but put it in the area where you have a chance in the offensive zone deep to either get there first or get there at the same time as an Oiler.
Seidenberg wins the wrestling match against Gazdic, and then Pekarinen slams into Spooner. And how are they going to settle this? We get an offside called? I'm not sure of the reason for the stoppage here. Well, we're going to take a break. We'll figure it out. 13:46 to go in the game. Bruins playing catch-up all night on Edmonton.
Billy Jaffe and I back after the game for Ace Ticket Bruins Overtime Live. We'll get reaction from the Bruins dressing room. Jack and Brick will talk with Claude Julien, and we'll preview Wednesday's game against the Penguins. Ace Ticket Bruins Overtime Live coming up. A little less than 14 minutes to score a goal, Jack.
Matt Bolesky has the Bruins lone tally.
So did you figure it out?
It was the sleight of hand. Luke Gazdic pulled the puck loose and gave it to Anton Lander. And it was one of the on-ice officials out in the neutral zone who looked down the boards and saw it. It wasn't until the replay that we were looking at during the break before I figured out what it was.
Well, we eliminated the offside.
Yeah.
We eliminated penalties.
Yep.
The only question was it a hand pass, or did the official think that this puck was going to be tied up and was going to blow the whistle? But from that replay there, sure looks like a hand pass by Edmonton.
Yep. 13.5 to go. Draisaitl and Bergeron. Puck rattles off a couple of skates. Darnell Nurse off the corner glass. Chara tries to thread the needle to Connolly. It's a turnover. Here's Draisaitl's off-foot shot. Ball braces for the contact from Chara. Marchand unable to chop it past Sekera, but there's Bergeron, who was in close support. Draws it wide with Connolly in the middle. The shot challenges Talbot, and he'll have to take a face-off in his own end of the ice.
That's just good effort right there. And Bergeron comes down low to help out Marchand, who's got to get to the wall when this puck gets chipped up. Good job by Marchand to protect it, use the skate the entire way. You know the back pressure's there. Bergeron knows the back pressure's there, but he's trying to gain the blue line, take the puck to space, back the defenseman off, hope to make a play. If there's nothing there, put it on goal. That's exactly what he was able to do.
Chara to Colin Miller, snaps the stick.
How many's that tonight? At least 2.
Yep. Nugent Hopkins down the wall. Holds up on the end boards. Bergeron's there to whack it away from his stick. Jujhar Khaira guns it into the middle. Chara with the block. Connolly to Marchand over the red line. Goes past the Deadwood. Takes the hit from Greiba. Digs it away from Eberle. It comes back to Chara for the drive. Colin Miller gloves it down, but his pass is into Chara's skates. Jujhar Khaira to the hash marks. The shot into the spoke B on Jonas Gustafsson's chest. The road ahead brought to you by Nissan. Oh, what fun it is. Get to Nissan's holiday event for great offers. Shop ChooseNissan.com. This is a stretch of 9 games out of 11 at TD Garden.
Back-to-back with Pittsburgh here Wednesday, down there on Friday. New head coach. And you got Jersey, who's surprised a lot of people this year, Jack, with some pretty good play. St. Louis, always tough. But if you're a player right now and you're going every other night, you love it.
David Krejci gloves down the puck. Extends the backhand to get it to Bolesky. One hands it up the boards. Nikitin back to center ice. Krejci chips over past Torrey Krug. Krug wraps up Purcell. Eriksson into the corner. Gets away from Justin Schultz. David Krejci finds some space, fakes the pass to Krug. A tour of the attacking zone. Krejci in front for Eriksson, but he couldn't pull the trigger. Misfiring with the puck on his forehand. Taylor Hall on the counter. Lobs the puck into the right wing corner. McQuaid puts the bear hug on him so as not to get a boarding penalty.
Again, that puck's down low, Jack, in the offensive zone, and that's where they generate their best opportunities all night long.
Darnell Nurse, a quick couple of steps to get to the red line. End over end down into the corner. Gustafsson stops it for Seidenberg. Now it's Max Talbot at his own line. Delaying and then going indirect for Landon Ferraro. The play's offside. David Krejci is incredible at creating space.
Well, we talked about that support. He comes low to help out Louis Eriksson. The play started below the goal line. Now it's that man-on-man coverage, and when do you release and then become more of a zone? Or if you're going to go man-to-man, you got to have that, you got him, I got to take him, release. You can beat Edmonton in those kinds of plays, and David Krejci just creating all kinds of offense, and unfortunately for Eriksson, that puck up over his stick in a prime shooting area.
Ferraro bunts the puck through the corner. Talbot to Ferraro, the shot off a stick, and it clatters up over the high glass with 11:03 to go.
Nice puck protection by Max Talbot down low, and Ferraro, we've seen him, he's got good hockey smarts, finds an open space on that short side. One times it, he's thinking short side, maybe high over that glove. Unfortunately, that was deflected up over the glass.
Ferraro credited with 2 shots on goal tonight. He's been a real presence in all 3 zones. Kevin Miller, a big collision with Euro Pukarinen. Vetrano gets one off Talbot's chest. Drive on the end boards. Brandon Davidson, the long pass to center. Gazdic can't pull it out of his skates. It sits at the edge of the circle. Davidson to the red line. Slings it off the corner glass. Gazdic protecting the puck from Spooner. Gustafsson blocks the point shot to the near side. Justin Schultz back to Letestu, the wrist shot, and Gustafsson handles the rebound nicely, steering it to the corner again. Vetrano pulls the puck wide diagonally so the Bruins can make a safe change. Mark Letestu chops the puck to Colin Miller's corner. Miller off Chara. Krejci uses the body to get between Draisaitl and the puck. David Krejci through the legs of Nugent Hopkins. Krejci gains the line. Bolesky fires it in front. And Talbot makes the glove stop. 9.5 to go. The Bruins pressing hard since the beginning of the second period. They have yet to pull even. Land Pro hard hit highlights and plenty of them.
Well, Matt Bolesky's been a going force all night long. Body contact all over the ice, creating all kinds of opportunities for himself. And his line just takes out Greive. It almost ends up being a shot on goal just by taking the body. And then Connolly getting in on the forecheck against Davidson. Good solid body contact. That's where the Bruins want to spend the majority of the rest of this period. Deep in the offensive zone.
David Krejci now 8 for 14 on faceoffs. The puck comes off Bolesky's stick back to center. Nugent Hopkins gets it away from Bolesky. Eberle turns into the eddy of the flow and then throws it down to the half boards. Krug pinning in Nugent Hopkins. Kara comes over to pry the puck loose. Eberle back to Nurse. Gustafsson with a punch to the far side. Sekera, the defenseman. Krejci stepping out of Eberle's check. Krug tape to Bolesky. He turns and then flips the backhand toward Talbot's goal. Sekera under pressure. Eriksson has the puck between his skates on the kick plate, but he's 1 against 2. Sekera out to Jujhar Khaira. Chara spins it deep. Eriksson trying to catch up to the puck. Nurse off Krejci, high on the body. Colin Miller to Chara, closing. The shot saved by Talbot. That's a career high for saves for Cam Talbot. He's made 39 of them tonight. Chara with a bomb and another glove save by Cam Talbot.
No, once again, the Bruins doing the work down low. And the minute Edmonton gets focused down low, the points open up. Heads up play by Colin Miller to create a passing lane with just a little bit of patience. Chara wisely creates a better lane by getting in around the tops of the circles. Maybe the face-off dot, then he's going to rotate out back high, looking for that one-timer feed from Krejci. Gets it, tries to go high glove, but Talbot, another stop.
Bergeron wins the draw cleanly. Chara settles the puck, the wrist shot in and out of Talbot's glove. Leon Draisaitl spins it off the boards and it rolls all the way to the Boston end. Taylor Hall hunting the puck. Colin Miller's pass offline. Draisaitl to Hall. Finds Draisaitl. Back to Davidson. Davidson wrists it through the corner. The Oilers just trying to get some attacking zone time. Take some pressure off Cam Talbot. We click past 8 minutes to go. Draisaitl tries to steer it in front. Bergeron blocks that. Purcell turns and fires it off Connolly's stick. Colin Miller in an unbelievably tight pirouette, but gives it away. In front, Draisaitl gets planted as Colin Miller takes the body. 3-on-3 up ice. Bergeron swivels it. Marchand's shot. He got some Chinese mustard on that, but it was off goal. Talbot near the post, can't control. Connolly to Marchand, unable to put it in the open side. Marchand turns, fires, and a save by Talbot. Cam Talbot having the night of his life at TD Garden.
Well, action at both ends of the ice. Boston responds after some pretty good pressure by the Oilers. Nice play by Marchand to get the puck to Bergeron with more speed through center ice. That leads to the first opportunity. They try to sneak one short side on a short pass from Bergeron to Connolly. Connolly tries to find Marchand on the opposite side. They got one more good look on a nice little behind the back pass by Miller, opposite end of the ice. And this problem was because Chara went to Colin Miller. Miller tried to go indirect back, thinking Chara would fan over and then go D to D behind the net. Chara stayed in front of the net, and all of a sudden Edmonton's got the puck.
Ferraro's drive off a couple of legs. Seidenberg's wrist shot and a save by Talbot.
Yeah, it's all about quantity as well as quality right now for Boston, Jack. The 43, 44 shots that they have to this point, not enough. Got to keep putting the puck on goal here.
They've doubled them up, 44-22. Korpikoski taps the puck away from Dennis Seidenberg. Seidenberg back to Kevin Miller. Long pass off the boards for Zach Rinaldo. Nikita Nikitin up to the blue line and out, and Ronaldo blocks it back. It's offside.
Next Sunday at 4, check out Big Bad Bruins Live, presented by DCU, Digital Federal Credit Union. Get the latest Bruins news and take a look at all the headlines around the league. Stay on top of all things Bruins all season long on Big Bad Bruins Live.
Edmonton last had a 5-game winning streak from the 26th of March through the 3rd of April 2013. The Oilers won 5 in a row coming into this game. They haven't won 6 in a row since October and November of 2012. And they ice it here.
Now that's an easy play for Pekka. He's got to make contact with that puck, and now all of a sudden Boston's got an offensive zone draw, and really what was a walkout by the Oilers coming out over there. See if Boston can take advantage.
Spooner, Vetrano, Hayes, McQuaid, and Krug. Lander on the faceoff, wins it back to Sekera. Andrej Sekera. Off the dasher, and it rolls toward the slot. Gustafsson off the corner boards. Krug to McQuaid. Pecorinen unloads on him. Vetrano turns the corner to pass it to Spooner. It's off a stick. Krug jumping into the rush, but couldn't quite reach the puck to control it. Torrey Krug past the blue line to Jimmy Hayes. Hayes' shot deflects and goes over the top of the goal. Krug down to the hash marks to Spooner to McQuaid down the slot. The wrist shot hits the pile. Hayes in a wrestling match against Pecorinen. Darnell Nurse, the hard backhand. Gazdic, second effort, can't get it out of the zone. Vetrano's right there. Krug bats at it, and the puck goes into the Edmonton bench with 6:13 remaining. The Bruins playing with desperation and intensity.
And again, some openings in the offensive zone for Boston. That time it was McQuaid at the right point. Had all kinds of time. Able to walk in, looking for a little bit of traffic, maybe a redirect, aim for a stick or two.
Jordan Eberle scored on a rebound off the end boards 8.5 minutes into the game. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins just before the 14-minute mark after Zdeno Chara had caught an edge and gone down in the corner. Chara takes it out on Carew. Krejci works it away from Davidson. Eberle spins the puck toward the blue line. Chara, nice recovery to send the puck to the corner. And hops over Krejci's stick. Davidson up the boards. Colin Miller blocks it down, keeps it in the zone. Davidson takes it away for the Oilers zone. Chara fishes it out of his skates, goes indirect nicely to Louis Eriksson, wing to Krejci with Bolesky going up the middle. Krejci can't stick handle around Davidson. Davidson can't clear past Krejci. Krejci around the boards. Bolesky giving chase. Sekera there. Carew muscles it past the blue line. Chara sprays it across the ice. Eberle wrapped up by Krejci. Krejci goes right around it, but Eberle manages to get the puck to Sekera. Nurse indirect for Draisaitl. He just gives up possession. Krug cross ice for Landon Ferraro, fresh off a change. Ferraro takes Nurse down forward to the goal line. Marchand gets the puck loose. Ferraro off on the line with Bergeron and Marchand. Krug's shot hits the pile and bounces wide of the post. Marchand can't turn on Sekera. Nurse up to his own line. Taylor Hall to Purcell, looking for Draisaitl. Here's the counter. Ferraro with Marchand. Marchand shot scores! Brad Marchand with his 15th of the year. The Bruins pound away and finally tie it up with 4.5 to go. And what work by Landon Ferraro getting a promotion out of that top unit.
Yeah, it takes Connolly off that right side, puts Ferraro out there, but it's Bergeron, Jack, that makes the play. Edmonton thinks they're going to get a 2-on-1. They're thinking offense, and Bergeron with a great effort to get back, and he recognizes a line change going on in some capacity. Quick up in center ice. It doesn't have to be a defenseman that makes that play. He gets it to Ferraro. And now you got exactly what you want, which is that nice flat triangle coming into the offensive zone with the trailer close in proximity. Becomes a short pass. Now it's a better angle. Use the defenseman as a bit of a screen. And that back foot snapshot, which is the trademark of Marchand, high to the blocker side. He's had a bunch of shots tonight. He may have overhandled it at times. And he finally able to beat Talbot high to the blocker side. I don't know what they're challenging him. Maybe they think this play's offside, but it appears to be some discussion.
Might as well. A coach can challenge for goaltender interference or for offside.
Well, you got the linesman over there taking a look, and let's see if this play is offside at all. Middle of your screen, puck across the blue line, nope. Right skate on the ice on the drag by Krug. From that angle, certainly looks onside.
That's legal. Yep. If the whole puck is across the whole line before both skates are across the whole line, as long as that trailing skate is on the ice.
Exactly right. That right skate of Krug has to be in touch with the ice if that left skate's already in the zone. But both replays, by the looks of it, Jack, play onside. Good goal, tie hockey game.
This should be conclusive here. Yep. You can see Krug's dragging the skate. And the puck is over the line. Now they got a 4K monitor down there. It's rather small, but it's unbelievable resolution. And they're getting a feed directly from Toronto on this. And you see linesman Brian Murphy, number 93. And the other linesman is David Brisebois, number 96. The call on the ice was onside, so there has to be irrefutable evidence to reverse this call. Also, if it is not a successful reversal, Edmonton loses its timeout.
Yeah, there's your freeze right there. Krug in the middle of the ice. Right skate appears, or certainly is, on the ice while the puck is completely in the offensive zone.
Chris Lee.
After reviewing the play, the call is confirmed. We have a good goal.
Talbot's had a tough year. He's had a good game tonight, Jed, but he's had a tough year. Any shot's a good shot right now.
Yep. 43 saves for Cam Talbot. Bruins need to finish the job. They have emptied their buckets. A couple of glaring mistakes in a first period that they were dominating, and Edmonton has the talent to capitalize on those. The Bruins have had to grind it out. They've got 4 minutes left in regulation.
15th goal of the season for Brad Marchand.
Justin Schultz around the boards. Nikita Nikitin right in front of his own goal to Lori Korpikoski. Mark Letestu chops the puck down the boards. That's going to be icing, a mental error on Edmonton. Patrice Bergeron having a spectacular season.
Well, he just in the right place at the right time so many times, and he knows he's got to get back because the urgency was there to try to keep the play in the offensive zone. And he helped set up the goal by Marchand. Now keep in mind, the coach's challenge, you lose your timeout, you just ice the puck right here. You know, there could be a sequence here, Jack, in the final 4 minutes where you wish you had your timeout if you were the Oilers.
Zach. Krejci and Letestu on the draw. Bolesky in the shooter's spot. Krejci in the corner. Reverses to the forehand. Bolesky can't get the shot off. Krug jumps ahead but can't beat Hendricks. Kevin Miller with a good angle to cover for his defensive pair. Krug up the middle center circle. It's Eriksson. The backhand pass to Krejci. Back to Eriksson. The shot saved. Rebound. Eriksson. Davidson takes it away. Bolesky hustles to the end boards. Eriksson lifts Davidson's stick. Wins the puck away. Tries to shield it. Davidson trying to cave in Louis Eriksson along the boards. Bolesky goes for a tumble. Greiba turns to the other side. Jordan Eberle up for Jujhar Khaira. Nugent Hopkins with a free hand on McQuaid. Eberle in the corner. Bergeron pins him in. Tries to kick the puck away from Khaira. He throws it through the goal mouth as we cross the 3-minute mark. McQuaid chops the puck past Eberle, but Nugent Hopkins is there. Turns to the backhand. Uses the pick from Eberle. Taylor Hall. Bergeron knocks it away. The Bruins change out. Marchand hunting the puck. Darnell Nurse short of his own line. Up the boards. Colin Miller takes the whack from Taylor Hall, sends it around. Teddy Purcell can't keep it on his forehand. It's Marchand slowly across ice for Landon Ferraro. Ferraro spoons the puck to the right wing corner. Cam Talbot past Ferraro. Purcell to Draisaitl. He's got Taylor Hall with him. Hall goes to the corner. Chara lines him up. Draisaitl gets the puck loose. Max Talbot back through the corner. Purcell wins it for Nikitin. The shot clean blocked by Talbot. 2-on-2 up ice as Marchand went for a change. Ferraro lobs it toward Cam Talbot, hoping Max Talbot can get there. Less than 2 minutes to go in a thrilling game at TD Garden.
Also knowing that if he can't get to Talbot, most chances, or you expect that Talbot's not going to come out and make a play on it. He's going to take the faceoff. So you get what you want. Even though ideally it gets to Talbot, you get a scoring chance. If not, you get a face-off in the offensive zone. You get fresh bodies. You get the matchup maybe that you're looking for.
Lander to the end boards. Davidson off the glass. Krug gloves it down, fires it over to Kevin Miller. Back to Torrey Krug. Krug chips the pass for Jimmy Hayes. He gains the line, takes the hit from Hendricks. Cam Talbot corrals the puck. Eric Greiba off of the skates of Zach Rinaldo. Davidson out to center, but the Bruins have possession with 1.5 minutes to go. Kevin Miller around the boards. Davidson reverses. Matt Hendricks with Hayes pursuing. Davidson, the diagonal past Letestu. It's going to be another icing against Edmonton. Player to bank on, brought to you by Capital One. What's in your wallet and what's in the back of the goal?
Well, Brad Marchand's been around the puck all night long, too. I'm not going to say it was his best game, but he's been around it a ton. Had an early opportunity, first period, tried to go backhand high. That one didn't finish, trying to wrap around. He's had a number of shots, but his biggest shot came here in the third period. High blocker to tie it.
9 shots on goal, a career high for a single game for Marchand. Erickson near the post. Brings it back to Seidenberg. The shot in and out of Cam Talbot's glove. Bolesky steers it middle as we enter the final minute. Bolesky's shot saved by Cam Talbot. The Bruins have 49 shots on goal.
Again, a face-off win in the offensive zone on the Krejci line. Chara didn't have a lane. He went down the boards, trying to get it below the goal line. Now the Bruins cycle game is in effect. They get it back to Seidenberg. That one pops out of the glove, and then the last chance is Bolesky. But the Oilers do enough in terms of the box out. Really, Louis Eriksson couldn't get there, and Krejci couldn't either. Easy stop on the last one up Bolesky.
Bergeron wins the draw. Seidenberg shields the puck from Eberle. Ferraro guns it off of Nurse's legs. Marchand with the stutter step, trying to lose Sekera. Ferraro's drive fells Nurse. Chara to the corner, 40 seconds to go. Marchand, one way then the other on Sekera. Marchand, the backhand into the front, bounces around. Nugent Hopkins, the soft backhand off glass to get the puck to center. Less than half a minute to go in the game. Landon Ferraro redirects the puck in deep. The Bruins change out one last time in the third period. Andre Sekera just trying to bleed the clock to get the point for Edmonton. Darnell Nurse up to the neutral zone. Draisaitl to Purcell. It hops up on Gustafsson in the final 10 seconds. Teddy Purcell along the boards. Past Draisaitl. Taylor Hall. The clock runs out. It'll be a point apiece, and they'll play 3-on-3 sudden death. And if you go back to the beginning of the game, we were talking about the talent level of Edmonton. When you get to 3-on-3, you're juggling nitroglycerin out there against the Oilers.
Now, the problem tonight was they chased the game all night long. A couple of mistakes, some forced, some not forced, some bad luck in that first period. They go down 2-0. They've been the better team. They've been the dominant team. Now they're going to have to win it in extra time.
The Bruins had 21 shots on goal in the third period. Edmonton had 22 shots on goal in 3 periods. Sudden death after this.
His matchup against the Penguins airs on the NBC Sports Network. Join us again Friday night at 6:30 when Dale, Billy, and Barry set you up on Bruins Face Off Live, presented by Echo Store Technologies. They'll preview the second game of the home and home and take a look at what Mike Sullivan brings to the table as Pittsburgh's head coach. Join us to get ready for the game Friday night at 6:30.
Save of the game brought to you by Digital Federal Credit Union. What can DCU save you?
Well, there was a number of shots on Talbot tonight. Take your pick, I suppose, in terms of timeliness of the saves. But Boston has been there with quality, with quantity. Talbot's been very good. He's given his team an opportunity to take points out of this one. Boston, they didn't play a great game in Edmonton. I won't say it was a no-hitter, but it wasn't the type of hockey Boston wanted to play. Boston played a lot of tonight the way they wanted to play in the offensive zone once they decided to put that puck down deep below the goal line. They didn't get the extra point in Edmonton. 4-1 in your last 5 at home. 8-1-2 in your last 11. You're going to take points out of this one, but it will be a much better feel-good, Jack, with 2 points tonight instead of 1.
Edmonton has scored 4 sudden death overtime goals this season, has allowed 2. The Bruins have scored 1, also have allowed 2. So Todd McClellan wheels out the number 1 pick in the 2011 draft, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, the number 22 pick in the 2008 draft in Jordan Eberle, and free agent signee Andrej Sekera against Landon Ferraro, Torrey Krug, and Ryan Spooner. Here comes Nugent-Hopkins flying into space. The shot saved Gustafsson. A hot rebound to the hash marks. Eberle holds, working against Spooner. Eberle with the washing machine. There's Nugent-Hopkins high in the zone around the perimeter. Here's Eberle turning to the backhand against Spooner. Gives to Nugent-Hopkins. Krug following him all the way to the blue line. Little toss of the beanbag, and Eberle picks it up. Here's Sekera's shot, knocked down. The rebound scores! Andrej Sekera follows it down the slot, and the Edmonton Oilers, who were hanging on all night, win it 41 seconds into sudden death overtime.
Well, this is all man-on-man coverage, and the Bruins are in good shape in terms of defending. They're on the right side. They're in right position. Everybody's got their guy, and even though Edmonton has possession in the offensive zone and there's a lot of motion, the breakdown is very simple. Landon Ferraro comes out. Sekera shoots it past Ferraro, and then Ferraro just kind of loses his check. It's that simple. We'll get a look at it here. The reads are good. The coverage good. Ferraro's going to fill the lane. The shot gets by him. You cannot watch that puck. You got to make sure Sekera doesn't beat you back for a second chance opportunity, and that's exactly what happens. And then it was just Sekera and Gustafsson, and he beats him with that second chance to the blocker side.
The Bruins outshoot Edmonton by more than a 2-to-1 ratio, 49-24. But the talent that Edmonton has enabled the Oilers to capitalize on early mistakes and also win it in the 3-on-3 overtime, where the Bruins never had possession of the puck forward of the center line. Dale Arnold has it for you on the backside of the break.